Hello and welcome to Car and Bike. TVS Racing's roots go back to 1982, and at that time a 50cc TVS 50 moped, two-stroke moped, clocked a top speed of 105 km per hour. And since then TVS Racings have grown by leaps and bounds at the foremost of an Indian motorcycle manufacturer in the racing business. Now this year is a very special bike. It's used in the Asia Road Racing's Championship, one-make championship bike based on a TVS Apache RR 310, but there's a lot different about this bike. Two numbers are very important. It has clocked a top speed of 216 km per hour. Yes, 216 km per hour. Dry weight of 119 kgs. And of course, power output of 60 bhp. Let's get to know about the new RR 310. It's not entirely brand new, but yes, let's get to know about his race bike more, and we'll of course be riding it and telling you all about it. How does it ride, how does it handle, and how much does it feel more different than the stock RR 310. Let's go ride it. We're here at Sepang International Circuit in Malaysia and get to know this baby better. Come on.
The RR 310 race bike has been around for a couple of years now, but the latest version used in the 2024 season has new updates. It now makes even more power of 60 bhp, and it has even set a new top speed record of nearly 216 km per hour earlier this year. To make the bike as light as possible, the bodywork is all carbon fiber, with even the subframe made of carbon fiber. There's a ram air intake from that hole where a headlight is placed on a conventional bike, and this one runs a 1x2 exhaust setup set to quickly emit exhaust gases from the chamber and help in better output. There's a bi-directional quick shifter, titanium valves, special cams with a race-tuned ECU which offers 3 standard engine maps.
So what's so special about this bike, and how much does it share with the stock RR 310? Now you can see the frame. That's the only thing common with the stock RR 310 and the bottom end of the engine. So that means the crankshaft, the crankcases are the stock bikes, share with the stock bike, but everything else is completely new. It's got new piston and it's got a new head completely, and this puts out full 60 bhp compared to the 34 odd bhp of the stock bike. Now in terms of suspension, it gets fully adjustable suspension front and rear, Ohlins, and it gets a JH1 calipers, of course with a Brembo master cylinder, and fully adjustable suspension at the rear as well. This bike weighs only 109 kg dry, and the tank, it's an aluminium fuel tank of 6 liters capacity. If you fill it up, it's going to weigh about 123.5 kilos only. So all that lightness, and of course there's billet aluminum foot pegs and completely race style handlebars. So that's how you sit on it. It's a sporty bike to sit on it. And of course the foot peg height is also adjustable depending on the rider's comfort and the size of the rider and height of the rider. The triple clamp here is all new. That's how the cockpit looks. That's the Ohlins steering damper. You can see M1, M2, M3. Those are 3 modes, 3 maps, engine maps that the bike comes with. And if you look at the 3 buttons on the left handlebar, this one is for launch control. This one is to change the 3 maps, M1, M2 or M3, whichever. And all 3 maps differ in terms of engine braking. And the blue button is for pit limiter, which limits pit speed to 60 km per hour. So that's the Apache RR 310 race bike, and this is not like the one-make race bike that you see in India. This is used for the Asia Road Racing Championship, the one-make championship bike for the Asia Road Racing event, and 60 bhp, 120 torque, 3.5 kilos, fully fueled, and it has clocked a top speed of 216 km per hour. And we're going to ride this here at Sepang and tell you what it feels like riding a completely kitted out race bike.
From the get-go, the RR 310 race bike feels nothing like the stock bike. The engine is rev happy, but you need to be brave and keep the revs high, even when cornering. For me, It was an effort not to try any heroics and take any chances with this obviously expensive race bike. There's still a strong surge of power after 7000 RPM, and so long as you're on the higher revs, it is rewarding and entertaining.
So just got around riding this baby here at the Sepang International Circuit. And first things first, there's not so much common with the stock RR 310, but this one is a completely different animal altogether. But what's common with the RR 310 is, even though it's a race spec bike, 60 bhp of power, very light, carbon fiber bodywork and all that, this one is still a forgiving race bike. As a race spec bike, the RR 310 ARRC 1 Make Championship bike has really been an impressive outing here at Sepang. And I think the takeaway is that the TVS, whatever they're doing with their racing vertical, some of these learnings, a lot of data points, a lot of research goes into making this bike and playing with it over and over seasons and seasons of racing this bike. Some of those learnings will certainly trickle down into future products, and that's the biggest takeaway. For me though, two takeaways. My first proper race bike and my first time ever riding on a track at night. So I go back with those memories, and this one is a forgiving bike just like the stock bike, but it's a race bike. So you need to have a certain amount of skill set, a little bit of skill set to handle this baby on a track, but this will still not scare you. And had a really enjoyable day today, and lovely bike. And I do wish to see some of these learnings that TVS is doing with these kind of machines trickle down to future products. Future of TVS motorcycles that you can buy looks to be very, very bright indeed.